All right, so we have plucked up officially the motivation, or rather the discipline, to sit down and do the studying. Now, how do we not get distracted by our phone, by the internet, by something else? You know, a bird flying through the window. How do we not get distracted while doing our work? Well, firstly, I think that kind of comes from enjoying the thing that we're doing. Usually, again, like, you know, we tend not to get distracted from watching Netflix. We tend not to get distracted from hanging out with our friends or playing sports. We tend to get distracted from doing work. Why is that? Often because it's not that fun. And like sometimes for me, when I'm in that real like flow state where I'm really kind of enjoying what I'm doing, I look up and look at the time and like, damn, an hour has passed and I just never noticed it. And I didn't even think about getting distracted because I was really enjoying what I was doing and I was fully immersed in it. So I think that's point number one. Like if you can enjoy your subject and even if you don't enjoy it, if you can like really fully focus on it. There's a book by Cal Newport called A Deep Work. And he talks about this idea of like really deep, intense focus on something. That level of focus, this flow state, is generally very pleasurable, says the evidence about this stuff. So that means we're less likely to be distracted. The other culprits of things that distract us are firstly our phone. So what I do if I'm studying is I would turn my phone to do not disturb and I would put it face down on the table in front of me or in my bag, or even sometimes if I'm really desperate, I would put it in a different room. And yeah, sometimes people say, oh, what if there's an emergency? But like realistically, when was the last time you had an emergency that you genuinely needed to respond to on your phone? And if there is an emergency, the do not disturb setting, I think, lets people call you if they ring twice in a row. Or you can set up like save people that, you know, if mother calls me or if my kid calls me, then the phone will ring. But if anyone else messages, then it won't. So that's another super easy way. It was a super easy thing to do because even to this day, I find myself scrolling through Instagram and being like, oh, how many likes have I got on that pic? Whereas if the phone is face down on silent mode or in a different room entirely, then I just don't think about it. I just kind of do my thing. There's a few other things we can do with the phone. We can increase the amount of friction that it takes to do bad things on our phone. So for example, what my brother does is that he uninstalls Instagram, the app from his phone. So in order to go on Instagram, he has to go on Safari, go on Instagram.com, log in, and then he's on Instagram. And those added few steps mean that he's significantly less likely to actually go on Instagram. What another friend of mine does is that she buries her social media apps in like some random folder on like page 8 of the iPhone. So in order to get there, she has to like scroll, page 8, click on the folder, and then click on Instagram. And that supposedly is enough friction to make her not go on Instagram. And in fact, like that friction is great because like while we're doing the thing, it just gives our brain a chance to think, you know, do I really want to be doing this? Is this really a good use of my time? And sort of on that note, one technique that I found that's completely transformed my sleep is the fact that I now put the phone across the room from me. And on days I find where I'm like, oh, you know, I'll just go on my phone for 5 minutes. I end up staying up. Why is this off? I end up staying up for like 20 minutes or like even 2 hours sometimes when I've got work the next morning at 6 a.m. I end up staying up for an extra 2 hours until 3 a.m. just scrolling through Instagram on my phone and kind of hating myself for doing it. But on the days where I leave the phone on the bedside, you know, across the room on the chest of drawers, I don't get distracted from it, and then I get a much better night's sleep, and I'm much happier for it. There's a few other things you can do. You know, there's all these apps that block apps from your phone and from your computer, you know, self-control and stuff, blocks Facebook, and, you know, there's all these Chrome extensions to remove your Facebook feed if that's what distracts you. Another thing you can do is you can set your phone to grayscale. So, you know, if you just Google, I think on iPhone, you can do it in the accessibility options and display options. So it just removes all the color from your phone. And kind of seeing a phone in grayscale is just a bit like, oh, that's a bit grim. And then it just makes us less likely to want to go on our phone because it's in grayscale mode. That's another thing you can do. But all of these are basically hacks to try and help us focus. Whereas I think that the main thing is to just be able to enjoy the subject and to focus intently on it. Because if we're doing that, then it becomes fun and then we don't feel the need to get distracted by all these other bits and bobs. So yeah, if you have any other methods for helping reduce distractions, I would love to hear that. Comment in the discussion bit of this video and we can all kind of learn from each other and share our tips on how to combat distraction. But yeah, for me, the main thing, phone on silent or on do not disturb rather, so I don't even get notifications, face down across the table from me or even in a different room. And that's how I cope with distractions. So I hope you found that video vaguely useful and I will see you in the next video.